husband sent me a little video too this morning
Of
his trip to Sunday River.
Ooh.
And it was like whiteout conditions on the road.
That's kind of what happens with these snow squalls, is that all of a sudden, like, it's sunny, maybe it's a little bit windy, and all of a sudden just kind of a wall of snow comes in. That's why we have warnings for them. That's why they can be fairly dangerous at times. But if you went up to Sunday River, were the lifts open?
They actually had a lot of holds, a lot of wind holds.
I am not surprised because it's been very windy kind of throughout the whole day today. So if you went skiing, you may have noticed that not all of the lifts were open. But yeah, we had some of those snow squalls earlier. This is a radar loop of the last 12 hours, so you can see some of those snow squalls moving through kind of mainly between Bangor and Portland there, kind of along the I-95 corridor. Most of those snow squalls were earlier today. We have had a couple of scattered snow showers in other areas of the state this afternoon, but not quite to the intensity of what we saw earlier today. And if you notice that it felt a little bit warm, especially in comparison to yesterday, you would be correct. Our temperatures at this moment are about maybe 10 to almost 20 degrees warmer than they were at this time yesterday. Most of us in the upper 20s to lower 30s. But if you didn't feel like it was that warm, probably noticed the wind. Here are some of the highest wind gusts that we've seen so far today. Gusted to 40 miles per hour in Rangeley, gusted to 47 in Concord, New Hampshire, gusted to 33 miles per hour here in Portland. For the rest of the day today, we still have to contend with that wind and kind of have a mix of sun and clouds. A couple of snow showers still possible in the mountains, but most of those will start to quiet down within the next few hours, especially overnight. Then overnight tonight, we'll have mostly clear skies, so our temperatures will be able to drop down into the single digits and low teens. Starting off the day tomorrow, I think we start off with a lot of sunshine. However, we increase our cloud cover as we get into the afternoon, and that is ahead of the next system and kind of our very active pattern that we have going on. So between about 11 p.m. and midnight, that's when we'll start to see the snow showers begin to move into areas of New Hampshire and western Maine. And this system, just like the one that we had yesterday, will go through fairly quickly. So this is a look at 6 a.m. Still seeing the snow kind of overspreading much of the state here, but by the time we get to about 10 a.m., already starting to see a lot of that snow begin to break up. And then as we get to midday, most of the snow showers have since departed at that point. So it's a very quick system that moves through. And for the second half of the day, Sunday, for some of those Super Bowl parties, perhaps, looks like things will be a little bit nicer. However, you will have to do some cleanup because it will be fairly accumulating snow. Right now for our snow map, we're looking at a widespread 4 to 8 inches for areas of southern and western Maine. In general, the farther north and east you go, the less snow you would see. About a stripe of 2 to 4 inches closer to the Bangor area, and northern Maine a dusting to about 2 inches in total. And I want to talk a little bit about how kind of this active pattern is going to affect our weather for next week. So it's a very good week to be weather aware because we're going to be watching a lot of different systems here. Obviously, the placement of these and the precipitation type isn't going to be exact, but one that we're watching for kind of Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, then another one that we're watching for Thursday of next week, and then another one after that for next weekend. So we got a big pattern of a lot of storms that'll be coming through. So we'll certainly be very busy in the weather office coming up this week. Marine forecast sees 6 to 9 feet, gale warning in effect because of how windy it is. So for the rest of the day today, you might see a couple of mountain snow showers, though most of those have since departed at this point. For tomorrow, we'll start out with a lot of sunshine, increase in clouds in the afternoon ahead of our next system, which will be Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's where we'll see that accumulating snow. Bit more cloud cover as we get into the beginning of next week, Brian and Amanda. Then it's kind of just one storm right after another, so it's a good week to kind of keep an eye on us, and we'll keep telling you about all the weather that comes up.
Lots going on. All right, Dana, thank you.